Hello everyone. Today I will tell you a story. The story is titled, A Morning That Started Slower Because of Boy. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you appreciate me. You can skip this if you don't and oppose. Like this video. Thank you very much. The story begins as follows. Most mornings in my life follow a predictable rhythm. The alarm rings, I reach for my phone without opening my eyes, and the day begins before I have fully agreed to it. Time usually pushes me forward, nudging me toward responsibilities, deadlines, and routines that don't wait for sleepy thoughts or half-finished dreams. But that morning was different. That morning belonged to Boy. Before the alarm even had a chance to ring, I felt a warm weight against my legs. Boy was already awake. He always is. He had curled himself into a soft, stubborn knot right in the middle of the bed, his back pressed against my knees as if to say, "You're not going anywhere yet." I tried to stretch. Boy stretched too, dramatically. One paw slid over my leg. His head dropped heavily onto my foot. His breathing deepened, slow and exaggerated, the way dogs breathe when they want you to believe they are deeply, profoundly asleep. "Boy," I whispered, half smiling. "I need to get up." His tail thumped once. Just once. Not in excitement. In acknowledgement. The room was quiet except for the soft hum of the fan and the distant sound of traffic waking up outside. Morning light crept in through the curtains, painting Boy's fur in warm shades of gold and brown. His ears twitched at every small sound, but his eyes stayed closed, committed to his mission. When the alarm finally rang, sharp and impatient, Boy lifted his head, blinked slowly, and looked at me with an expression that could only mean one thing. Why would you ruin such a perfect moment? I turned off the alarm and sighed. 5 more minutes, I told myself. 5 minutes turned into 10. 10 turned into a quiet conversation between my fingers and Boy's fur. His body relaxed completely, trusting me in a way that felt both ordinary and incredibly precious. He rolled onto his back, exposing his belly without hesitation, as if the world outside the bed simply didn't exist. That morning didn't rush me. Boy wouldn't let it. Eventually, when I did sit up, Boy followed, slowly, stretching each leg as if time itself had slowed to match his pace. Instead of jumping off the bed like he usually did, he leaned against me, resting his head on my shoulder. The day had started late, and somehow, it felt exactly right. The rest of the morning unfolded differently, as if Boy had quietly rewritten the schedule without asking for permission. Normally, breakfast is a quick affair. Coffee poured while standing, toast eaten while checking messages, thoughts already miles ahead. But that day, Boy sat patiently by the kitchen door, watching every move I made with calm, steady eyes. He didn't bark. He didn't rush. He simply waited. When I poured his food into the bowl, he didn't dive in right away like usual. Instead, he looked up at me first, tail swaying gently, as if confirming we were sharing this moment together. Only after I nodded did he lower his head and eat, unhurried, savoring each bite. I found myself doing the same. I sat at the table instead of walking around. I drank my coffee slowly, feeling the warmth in my hands. Outside, the sky was brighter now, the world fully awake, but inside our small kitchen, time felt softer. After breakfast, Boy brought me his leash. Not with urgency, but with purpose. He dropped it at my feet and sat down, tail wagging slowly, eyes hopeful. The walk that followed wasn't long. It wasn't efficient. It was perfect. Boy stopped to sniff everything. Leaves, grass, a random spot on the sidewalk that clearly held a fascinating story only he could understand. I used to pull him gently, encouraging him to move along. That morning, I didn't. I waited. As Boy explored the world through his nose, I noticed things I usually ignored. The sound of birds arguing on a power line, the way sunlight filtered through the trees, the quiet smiles of neighbors passing by. One elderly woman stopped and watched Boy with amusement. "He looks like he's enjoying life," she said. "He always does," I replied without thinking. And it was true. Back at home, instead of rushing into work, I sat on the floor while Boy chewed on his favorite toy beside me. He paused every few minutes to glance at me, as if checking whether I was still there, still present, still part of his small universe. That day, Boy didn't just slow my morning. He reminded me how fast I usually move without noticing. The effects of that slow morning followed me through the entire day. I noticed I was less impatient, less distracted, more aware. Tasks didn't feel like obstacles. Conversations felt warmer. Even mistakes felt easier to forgive, especially my own. Whenever stress tried to creep back in, I thought of Boy, stretched out on the bed, refusing to let the day begin without kindness. In the afternoon, when I returned home tired but calm, Boy greeted me at the door with the same gentle enthusiasm he always had. No complaints, no expectations, just pure happiness that I was back. We sat together again, quietly. No rush, no agenda. That night, as Boy curled up beside me, his breathing slow and steady, I realized something simple and powerful. The day hadn't been less productive because it started slowly. It had been more human. Boy didn't change my schedule. He changed my perspective. And in doing so, he gave me something far more valuable than extra time. He gave me a better way to live it. Boy's slow morning is a gentle reminder of something many of us forget in modern life. Speed is not the same as meaning. We often believe that starting earlier, moving faster, and doing more will make our lives better. But animals like Boy show us another truth, that presence, patience, and connection matter just as much. Dogs don't worry about unfinished tasks or future deadlines. They live fully in the moment, and by doing so, they invite us to join them. When we allow ourselves to slow down, even briefly, we become more attentive to our surroundings, our emotions, and the people and animals who share our lives. In practical terms, this means allowing space for small rituals, a quiet morning, a longer walk, a few extra minutes of attention for a pet who asks for nothing but companionship. These moments strengthen the bond between humans and animals, building trust, emotional balance, and mutual understanding. Most importantly, animals teach us empathy without words. They remind us that love doesn't demand speed or perfection, only presence. By honoring their pace, we often rediscover our own. Sometimes, starting the day slower doesn't hold us back. It gently leads us forward, together.